Hi, and welcome to Blue's Garden. This is my 2025 sowing seed potato. It's that time of year again when I am going to begin sowing my potato. This is a process that starts 6 or so weeks ago when I start chitting out or greening out my potato, which basically means allowing the eyes to start developing little tiny buds that come through. That's greening or chitting. Chitting, chitting. After that, wait the 6 weeks or so till you get decent planting weather. I normally, anytime after St. Patrick's Day, anytime after March 17th, and here it is, tax day in Massachusetts, and I am sowing my seed potato. It's actually the day after. I look for a few days in a row of not pouring rain. I don't mind if it rains a little bit, but I don't want it to be a soaking rain. And I also want to make sure it's warm enough. So, 3 or 4 days of decent weather, not freezing temperatures at night, and in the potatoes go in the ground. Now, this is also how I prep my 25-gallon fabric grow bags. I grow in 25-gallon bags. I grow anything from 1/3 compost, which I make my own, 1/3 last year's soil, 1/3 peat, to a mixture of straw and peat and compost, or straw and soil and compost. I also add in some bone meal and some blood meal. So without further ado, here we are, sowing seed potato 2025. So let's begin. First off, I want to get my grow bags all set up. So as I mentioned, I'm growing in 25-gallon grow bags, and I will do a mix of about 1/3 compost that I have from my own compost bins, 1/3 last year's soil, and 1/3 peat. That's the mix that I typically grow in. Now, I've actually got two that I'm growing in some mix of, instead of the 1/3 peat, I'll use a 1/3 mix of straw. Here you see me laying down some cardboard. That's just a little, sometimes I have some ivy coming up or some weeds coming up, and I don't want them growing up through the bags. So some cardboard down first, take a little bit of the last year's soil out of the way, and that way there I can get the right mix of what I want going on. So a couple of these bags have just the compost I dragged out of my bin, and just get everybody ready. Like I said, I want to make sure I've got the right mix. It's not exact science, but about 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 is basically it. Once I've got all the soil mixed, I want to get it filled about 1/3 of the bin. So here I am, starting with the Yukon Gold. Like I said, about 1/3 of the bottom. I want to put these in around the bottom third of each bag, and then there'll be 2/3 above it, so 16 inches of soil above, or 12 or so inches of soil above, something like that. That'll be the grow area for these. I'm putting about 4 in each. I could probably do 3 and be better off, but 4 is fine. So these first two 25-gallon grow bags here are going to be Yukon Gold. This next one is dark red Norland. And again, about 8 inches of soil. I am putting 4 dark red Norland in. Adirondack blue, same thing, 8 inches deep. Put a few Adirondack blue in. right about the 8-inch mark, and then I will top the rest off with the soil, compost, peat mix, and also add some fertilizer. This one, you can see it doesn't have the peat, it has the straw. I just wanted to see what the big difference was. So, and this one will be the Adirondack Red. I'll put 4 of those in. I've grown them before in just the soil peat mix, so this I should be able to tell if it's a big difference. I don't think it will be. These 5 bags I will now top off with the soil compost mix, soil peat compost mix. Like I said, I put them at about the 1/3 level, and then 2/3 I fill up the top. I don't think there's a need to hill. They can grow through just fine. So at the end of once I'm done filling everything up, there'll be 12 to 14 inches or so of soil above it, above the seed potatoes. These are 5 of the 7, and then off in a different area I have 2 more. And these are the other 2, including one with just straw. That's the Wonder Mix. I'm not sure what's in there. And the other one on the top is the Yukon Gold. So these are the granular organic. I do a bone meal, which is a 4-12-0 NPK, and a blood meal, which is a 12-0-0. Do about a handful of each. And because of these are fabric grow bags, I will have to add fertilizer more frequently than if you were in the ground. The nutrients just get washed out of these fabric grow bags. So that's important. About a handful of the bone meal as well. Now, once all of the blood meal and bone meal, handful of each, are in each bag, then I will come along. You can see it all in there. And I will come along and I will just scratch it into the surface. Now, I lucked out in that tonight there was a light rain, which is great. Start mixing it in, washing it in. Now, if I notice that it starts to show some potatoes growing up, I will definitely top up, hill up a little, or just add a bunch of straw. Well, there you have it. I have 3 25-gallon bags, grow bags, of Yukon Gold. I have 1 dark red Norland. I have 1 Adirondack Blue, 1 Adirondack Red, and then 1 at the end was a surprise mix of 3 or 4 different potatoes. I just honestly can't remember. I don't think there's any dark red Norland or Yukon in the surprise mix. But there is a mix of a couple of different kinds. So the potatoes are chitted out and sown for the 2025 season, mid-April, mid-May, June, July, end of July. So 1st of August is about 100 days, and that's about normal for a batch of potato, for these potatoes. Maybe not the Yukon Gold, but the rest will be about 100 days. 110, 115 days for the Yukon Gold, maybe. So the others, I will try and get a second planting of, second sowing of potato, and those will be ready right around Thanksgiving, which works out great for me. So, thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this. I hope this helps you grow potatoes. If this helps you grow, that helps me grow. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.